Throws it into Leonard. That's it. It's over. The Raptors win.
Sports has a way of surprising us. The result we expect isn't always the one that happens, and some of the most memorable moments are the ones we didn't see coming. In this video, we'll look into some of the craziest, never-before-seen moments that surprised us in sports. But first, a simple reminder on how to enter our brand new giveaway. We will be giving away either an iPhone X Max, the new iPad mini, or a MacBook Pro. It's all your choice. So be sure to leave a like, comment the keyword, subscribe, and turn on notifications to enter the giveaway. It's really that simple. First, the helmet catch. This one was not only unprecedented, but also recognized as one of the best plays in the history of the Super Bowl. That's because in addition to being an impressive play on its own, it had a big part in taking down the undefeated Patriots and preventing them from reaching a perfect season. The play was a 32-yard pass in the fourth quarter, but the impact it had was definitely more significant than the actual 32 yards would indicate. That's because this catch is what made the game-winning touchdown possible, giving the Giants a 3-point victory over the undefeated Patriots. Also a notable factor was the player that made the catch. David Tyree is one of the most famous names in New York sports history, but all of that fame is from this one play. Coming into the game, Tyree was far from a notable player. He was mainly a special teams player and only had 4 catches during the regular season. When he caught a touchdown earlier in the Super Bowl, it was his first of the season. The game-winning touchdown came just 4 plays later after being made possible by Tyree's miracle play. The play was iconic enough to win the Best Play award at the 2008 ESPYs. Also, it got the attention of famous singer Justin Timberlake, who joked that the catch was possible because he left sticky gum on David Tyree's helmet. Unfortunately for Tyree, he suffered a knee injury in 2008, which kept him out of action in the games following the iconic Super Bowl history. He was released in 2009, but even if his time with the Giants didn't produce much in terms of numbers, it did result in the most iconic play in franchise history. There are a lot of players in the history of the league to retire with worse accomplishments than that to their name. Second, Zlatans' bicycle kick. The bicycle kick is known as one of the most exciting plays in soccer, but there's not many out there as memorable as this one. Zlatan Ibrahimovic made a name for himself with his flair and his goals from many different teams throughout his career. But his most notable goal probably came while he was playing with the Swedish national team. It was a big stage with Sweden taking on England and leading 3-2, and Ibrahimovic firmly put the game away in stoppage time with this bicycle kick from outside the penalty box. It was also Zlatan's 4th goal of the game after he'd carried Sweden already by scoring the first 3. Even the other side had to give credit where it was due. England's captain Steven Gerrard had glowing praise for the goal after the match. Quote, "It was the best goal I'd ever seen. Only certain players can do that, and he is a special player," Gerrard said. England's manager also pointed that goal out as the point of no return at the end of the game. Quote, "That's when Zlatan decided to step up into the picture and win the game for him," said Roy Hodgson. "We've seen a lot of bicycle kick goals in the history of the sport, but it's going to be a long time before we see another one like this on the international stage." Next, the Raptors win the NBA title. We don't have to go back too far for this one. The end result in the 2019 NBA playoffs had never been seen before, as the Toronto Raptors lifted the trophy and won their first NBA title. They achieved this in only one trip to the finals in franchise history, after years of early exits and losing out in the playoffs to bigger favorites. This one is more impressive because the Raptors did it against the Golden State Warriors, the most recent dynasty in the NBA, and a team that was the favorite due to their combination of Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson. But with Kevin Durant hurt during the series, the result was more of a toss-up than expected. The Raptors brought home the title and did what previous lineups weren't able to do. Notably, Vince Carter failed to lead the Raptors to the title in the early 2000s and even exited the franchise with some bad blood after leaving them without winning a ring. The Raptors also couldn't break through in the Eastern Conference with Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan at the helm as their dynamic duo. Those past years included many painful playoff losses for the Raptors and multiple head coaches and GMs, but the past history of failure makes the 2019 title all the more impressive. Also an honorable mention on this list is Kawhi Leonard winning his 2nd Finals MVP award when the Raptors won the title. Not many players have multiple Finals MVP awards, but even fewer have won multiple while excelling in Kawhi's strengths such as defense and rebounding. Then there's Lamar Jackson's 47-yard run. Usually the quarterback is the player on an NFL team that throws the ball and doesn't do much else. The quarterback throws the ball, the running back runs the ball, and the two positions don't mix very much. But one of the latest quarterbacks to blur the lines between thrower and runner is Lamar Jackson. He showed off his speed and agility during one play against the Bengals where he ran through multiple defenders and broke ankles on his way to walking in for a touchdown. There are other quarterbacks that have found success rushing the ball, but none of them have performed as well statistically as Jackson has in a single season. Jackson's 2019 year saw him named Most Valuable Player, and his rushing was a big part of the reason why. He had the most rushing attempts and yards for a quarterback in a single season. His rushing yards placed him ahead of many of the league's running backs performance-wise and made him a fan-favorite player in the process. Next, Connor McDavid splits the defense. Former number 1 overall pick Connor McDavid is the man in Edmonton, and there's good reason for that. McDavid is one of the most entertaining players we've seen in a long time, and in a game against Columbus, his skills were on full display. While making a return from injury, McDavid made his way through most of the Columbus defense to get a one-on-one and put the puck in the back of the net. The goal gave his team the lead and reminded the fans why the Oilers took McDavid with the first pick in the first place. This play came back in 2016, which was still pretty early in McDavid's career. It was his second season to be specific, and he had a great year overall. McDavid had 100 points that season, which set him up to improve further the following year and take home both the Hart and Art Ross trophies. Next up, Aaron Gordon dunks over the Mascot. The dunk contest is one of the most anticipated events in the NBA every year, and for good reason. Fans love to see some of their favorite players throw down hard dunks, but every once in a while, there's a player that rises above the usual performance. Aaron Gordon was that player during the 2016 All-Star Weekend, and the best of his dunks was the one where he went over the Magic's mascot to slam the ball down. However, even though this one has been played on highlight reels everywhere in the years since it happened, Gordon didn't win this dunk contest as a whole. That one went to Zach LaVine, who won with some controversy as fans took to Twitter to debate who the real winner should have been. The battle between LaVine and Gordon in this dunk contest could be a moment in and of itself on this list. After all, the dunk contest isn't as prominent as it was in previous years, and it's more rare these days that we see a head-to-head battle as intense as this one. You can also make the argument that we haven't yet had another player versus player battle in the dunk contest as good as this one, 4 years from when it first happened. Now let's talk about Julian Edelmans' huge catch. The New England Patriots aren't always the luckiest team in Super Bowls. We've already covered in this video what happened when they ran into David Tyree and the Giants with an undefeated season on the line. But the Patriots had a different outcome when they took on the Atlanta Falcons for the championship. They had more luck this time, and a lot of that luck went into one play by wide receiver Julian Edelman. With time running out in the fourth quarter and the Patriots down by 8 points, Tom Brady found Edelman running across the middle of the field, but the ball was tipped before Edelman could catch it. Edelman, however, somehow came down with this one, and the Patriots scored on the drive, bringing the game into overtime where they defeated the Falcons in a huge comeback. That's not to say that this play didn't give Patriots fans heart attacks when it happened. Before the replay showed that Edelman came down with the ball for sure, it looked like it might be another classic unlucky moment for the Patriots late in a Super Bowl. Wes Welker infamously dropped the ball in 2011 when the Patriots took on the Giants a second time, and this could have been another moment like that. Unlike Welker, though, Edelman held on to it, and his catch will be remembered as the play of the game that also played a big part in boosting his team to overtime. Anyways, that wraps up this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.